Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in to our prospecting and recruiting training. We are going to keep this as short and sweet as possible. We're going to have a lot of information thrown at you guys for hopefully about an hour. And we want to make sure that we're giving you the most important information to help you grow. And you're here tonight. You showed up. That is a huge part of the actual process or getting involved and being engaged is showing up. And from here, this is the planning part, right? This is you figuring out what your plan is and kind of breaking it down. From here, you really need to take action, because if you're not taking action after this, you guys, then this is all for naught. Like, don't waste your time, because you're worth more than that. And trust me, it's scary, especially this subject. Even superstar directors, when you ask anybody what they want to talk about or what they want to know about, it's always recruiting. Okay. So we're going to start even a step before that with prospecting. Excuse me. So this will be recorded. We want it to keep it as short and condensed as possible. Tonight, you have myself and you have Nicole Pesci and Jill Matarazzo. They are directors in our Beantown group. And then you have Christine and Lydia, who are our upcoming directors in this group, and they are right there. And I have personally spoken, asked, and sat with these women to get their perspective on these topics, because you know what? It's not fair to you guys that you should always hear from me, because I am only one person, and these wonderful people got to where they are for a reason, and clearly they're doing something that is working. And you guys can look on any one of my videos for the past 5 years and figure out what I'm doing, but I want you to know what they're doing too. Okay, because what may work for me may not work for you, and everybody runs their business differently, which is the magic of all of it. Okay, so we have somebody covering pretty much a different topic, and we're going in chronological order. I have it set up that way because these are the steps to take, step by step by step. Okay, and then I am going to come in at the end and wrap it up with 2 of the topics. But we are going to start right away with Nicole, and she's going to talk about why we are recruiting, like why we're here, what we're talking about, why recruiting is so important. I mean, it's a big recruiting part of the year. No, actually, I shouldn't say that. No, recruiting is all the time. I'll get into that, but Nicole's going to pick up right now.
Hi guys, I'm Nicole, like she just said. So, you're probably, if you're watching this video or on this Zoom call, you're past your launch phase and you're into more of like, you're wanting to get into a leadership role. You've been working your business and your sponsor's telling you, okay, let's start recruiting. And, if you don't understand why you should be doing this, you're not even going to think about doing it. You need to understand why it's so good for your business, for your paychecks, and for just your leadership skills. So that's what I'm going to tell you about. I have a few reasons. The first one I'm going to say I think is the most important, and it is recruit for success. Recruit for success in your business. So if you are somebody who wants big paychecks and free vacations and life-changing income and promotions, then you need to recruit, right? Who wants to earn a free trip? Who wants to make a huge paycheck, right? So then you need to recruit. I think that everybody wants these things in their business to some extent. Imagine that your goal is $10,000 a month. Maybe that's not your goal. Maybe you have a smaller goal. I don't know, but I think we would all agree that we wouldn't be upset if we had a $10,000 paycheck in our hands. So imagine that's your goal and you're a team of 1. You would need to sell in 1 month about $30,000 worth of Scentsy on your own, by yourself. Okay? Does that sound attainable? No, not at all. And even if it is attainable, even if it's your best month ever, you're like working a party every single day and everyone's buying off of you. Let's just say you have a $30,000 month. Good for you. I don't even know if anyone's ever had that before. The biggest paycheck I've ever heard someone have, or not paycheck, but PRV, was $7,000. 7,000 PRV. I don't think I've heard of any more. But let's just say you get 30,000. Could you do it again? Could you do it the next month? and the next month and the next month, it's not attainable. It's not sustainable. The only way that you can do it is with a team. That's just it. So recruit for success. And an incentive trip, you need to recruit, because that's how you're going to get points, a lot of points. It's easier if most of your points are recruiting, and you need recruiting points to earn it point blank. You can't earn for your trip with no recruiting and just PRV. Number 2 is recruit for purpose and motivation. Okay, the way to become an expert at something is to teach it. I'm a teacher, and when I make my PowerPoints or I get ready to teach something, I know that I'm becoming even more of an expert on the topic when I'm teaching it and I'm explaining it. And that translates to my Scentsy business, because when right now, I'm telling you all how to recruit, right? I'm becoming almost an expert on the topic of recruiting. And when I tell somebody, this is how you book a party, I'm teaching myself how to book a party, because I have to go find that information and relay it to my team. So that's going to give you motivation and fuel your business. When you recruit, you are growing a tribe of people that support you and motivate you and encourage you and look up to you. Some people on my team are family members and have become some of my best friends. And we could constantly motivate and inspire. Yeah, your upline can motivate you. Your sideline can motivate you, of course. But you know who really motivates me and inspires me is my downline, because I know they're looking at me. And if I'm not working my business, I feel like horrible about it, because I'm letting these people that are looking up to me down, if that makes sense. The friends and camaraderie in building a team is something irreplaceable. Having people that are your tribe in Scentsy land is just like a great feeling. And that's something that's new to me. And just trust me, it's a really good feeling. And the last one is to recruit to get paid at title. And I know that when I first became a leader, I promoted to lead consultant, star consultant, and I would call up Colleen and I'd be like, oh, they're just not working. Like, they're just, my team is not working. My GWV is low. And she'd say, well, you need to constantly recruit people, because if I recruit you one person this month and they have their launch party, that's contributing to my GWV. Yeah, maybe they'll fall off within the next few months, but then you just recruit that month and that contributes to your GWV. So somebody's highest month in PRV typically is like when they're first starting out, because they're having all their family and friends order. So recruiting is going to make your GWV get bigger and bigger every single month. And it helps take the load off of you. You're not constantly having to pull in 2,000 PRV. Well, that's typical, but let's just say you're not having to work like crazy to carry your team. Instead, your team is carrying themselves. You're getting paid a title with your eyes closed, because you have so many people to contribute to your TWV and GWV. Whew, I just lost my breath. So I'm going to just say it one more time. Why recruit? Number 1, recruit for success, money, trips, all that. Recruit for purpose and motivation. And number 3, recruit to get paid a title. And I hope I didn't miss anything, but those are my 3 reasons to recruit.
That was awesome. That was so good. I agree with everything that you just said. I love how you say you recruit and you become the expert at it. And it's so, 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 so true. Because just like you guys, like doing a training, it's not something that you would normally do on the regular, but you doing it right now, it's making you more comfortable doing this. You guys showing up to this team meeting, if you normally don't, you're going to get more and more comfortable doing that. And you're going to say to your teammates, like, why aren't you on these trainings, or why aren't you going to these team meetings, or, whatever it is, because it's really like, being a leader is walking the walk and talking the talk, right? It goes back to that. So awesome job, Nicole. If you guys have questions, remember to put them in the chat. We will look at them at the end and answer any questions you may have, but just wait because we are going through all of these steps, okay? Next up is Lydia, and she's talking about selling the opportunity, selling yourself and your brand, how it all pretty much goes together.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lydia. So I'm talking about branding yourself, and that's actually really important. Every time I work with a new recruit or somebody who has joined my team, I always go over branding. I think it's super important because that's where your connections are going to be built. Your relationships are going to be built right there. And that's how you're going to continue to build those relationships and maintain those relationships. So branding yourself should come kind of easy because it's just all things that make up who you already are, things that you already do, things that you might like, and just things that you are. So outside of Scentsy, these are things that you're known for. Like, for example, I'm a mom. I love Rae Dunn. I'm a crazy Rae Dunn collector. In case anybody knows what Rae Dunn is, I have a bunch of it. I love Hallmark, and I'm a big Christmas fanatic. So these are just things that people know me for. And there are tons of things that people know you for outside of Scentsy. And those are things that you want to carry over into them, because you don't want to just be talking all about Scentsy all the time. Like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm changing my wax. Oh my gosh, guys, join my team. Oh my gosh, guys, look at these new warmers. You're going to lose interest, and you're not going to have as many people engaging with you. Most of the people who have joined my team or who are great customers even, I do not know personally. I've met them through Facebook groups. I've met them through similar interests that we might have outside of the internet, like, you know, kids sports or things like that. I've even met some of my best customers and teammates at Blend. If anybody knows Blend or Powerhouse, I've met them there. So that's really where you're going to want to focus on meeting these people and maintaining those relationships. And something else that's super important with branding yourself is that you want to be branding yourself positively. A lot of times people come onto social media and they can be negative, or they talk negative about themselves. You know, those are things that you want to try to steer clear of, especially when you're first creating your brand. And then complaining about things is a big no-no. If we sell out of a product or stuff like that, big no-no. So you want to try and maintain that positive energy and that positive image. Of course, be real, be authentic, be human. But, you know, maintain that positive personality. And releasing expectations from the beginning, I think, is also super important when you're building your brand. Because the reality is that not everybody's going to connect with you. Not everybody's going to share those similar interests. Not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. There's so many people in the world, and we're not all going to connect with every single human being on this earth. And that's okay. You're going to find your way. You're going to find your people. And like I said, there are so many different ways to do it. There's Facebook groups. Instagram is fantastic for building your brand, and Pinterest even. I don't know if anybody likes Pinterest, but I love Pinterest, and I have like 75 boards. Most are private, but I have so many Pinterest boards, and that is a great way to share your brand too. So there's so many opportunities on social media to share your brand. Outside of social media, there's kids. If anybody has kids, I'm constantly at baseball or soccer or basketball. That is my brand. I'm a boy mom, and he does every sport you could ever imagine. And if I didn't do Scentsy, I couldn't afford it. I can tell you that right now. And then other things like work, or if anybody's in school still, all those places are great opportunities for you to share your brand, because you're going to meet people that have similar interests. And go for everybody. Don't exclude anyone. There are so many people who you might think aren't interested in this opportunity, but you have that connection with them and you've built that relationship. I have customers of mine and people that I've talked to about recruiting that are doctors and lawyers and real estate agents. And people have said they're not going to be interested in that. That's crazy. But that connection that I've built has brought them to me. I didn't go out and find them. Our connection through our similar interests in my brand has brought them to me. So I'm just sharing genuinely and authentically. And then the last thing that I just want to say is when we're trying to sell the opportunity and stuff like that, you want to think more sharing. We're sharing this opportunity. We're not selling it. We're not selling anything like that. We want to share. And the most important thing that you are going to be selling is yourself. People need to know you, like you, and trust you. And facts tell, but stories sell. That's all I have.
So no. I wanted to just jump on that and piggyback really quick, because the whole point of Lydia saying this is it's to make the connections, right? Because if you were just putting stock photos on the internet all day long and a link, first of all, don't put any links up. But if you were just putting up stock photos and join my team and just like very generic salesy kind of, what people think we are, the salespeople that they think we are. If you do that, you're not making any connections with anybody. People will buy, host, or join if they know you, like you, and trust you. Remember that. And she just said it. And I was like, yes, because you want to put your brand out there to the world, because something that you're putting out there is going to be relatable to somebody in your audience, somebody that you come across. And because we're constantly meeting new people in this business, in this industry, right? Like, you have to find a way to connect with the people that you're meeting. You're not connecting with people by throwing up a stock photo and a link, right? There's no connection there. What do you know about them? How are you going to find out why they should join Sensi, which is what we're going to get into. But you need to put out that brand for yourself so it becomes sticky to your customers and your audience and your, the people that watch you that you don't even know, because they don't say anything. People don't say, hi, I'm watching you. Like, there's, I have thousands of people that on my friends list that I don't even know half of them, but I don't know who's watching me and who's not. I have no idea. So I never know what I'm putting out there, that it's resonating. And then one day I may ask that person, they're like, you know what? Yeah. And they feel like they know me because I'm talking about my twin mom life, or maybe they're trying to lose weight and I talk about my weight loss journey, whatever it is, right? Your brand, they're going to feel like they know you, like they like you, they can relate to you, and they trust you. Okay. So that's awesome, Lydia. And Lydia is also going to talk about who to prospect and finding out what their want and need is to join.
So just like when you're sharing your brand, you want to connect with those people. And like I said before, you don't want to exclude anybody, because there are so many people who join for so many different reasons. It could be to earn a little extra money. They might want to contribute to their household. They could want to travel. There are so many people that love to travel. They could want that sense of community and to find that sense of self. There's a lot of women that I've worked with, they're stay-at-home moms, and all they do all day is just hang out with their kids, and they really just need that adult connection. So there are so many different reasons why people join. There are people that want to actually build a business and go all the way to the top, and that's from day one, that's their mindset. So you never want to exclude anybody, but there are so many different ways to find out who is a good prospect. And I always like to start with my best customers, because they are spending their money every month or every couple months on the products. So we already know that they like the products. We already know that they wouldn't mind getting some free and half price products because they're buying them all up. So I'd love to start with them. And we already know that they, maybe they've hosted parties for you, or maybe they've shared stuff for you, or they share their own products. So they have that ability to talk about the products and share the products authentically with others as well. So definitely starting with your customers is, I think, the best way to go. And then also, don't exclude anybody. Look on social media. When you're in groups that you have similar interests with, there are so many people that are already like home decor, for example. I'm in a bunch of home decor groups, and there are so many people that just love the style of the warmers or the flowers or everything, and they want to join also simply to get that discount on those products. But there are so many opportunities to talk to other people, and There are people that are constantly posting online. I don't know if you guys have ever seen on your news feeds, but I see people all the time complaining about their 9-to-5 jobs, or complaining about working on the weekends, or picking up a second job. Those are people that you can start building a relationship with and make an authentic and genuine connection and let it grow organically, and let them see how you're working and how you're living your life. And they, every day from 9 to 5, you're not at the office. You're maybe at the beach with your kids, or maybe you're out on a date night with your husband, and Sunday brunch, and doing all these fun things. So those are definitely people that you can also try to prospect with. And just like in our Frankie, I always like to go for extraordinary people. I think that there is such a great opportunity within Scentsy, whether, like I said, that's to earn extra income, to travel, to just make some amazing friends. I have built so many great relationships in this company, and I'm grateful every day for every single one of them. So I love to share that with everyone, because this is just such a once in a lifetime amazing opportunity. And I don't think anybody should be excluded. I think everybody should have the opportunity to be part of this, and we're always welcoming of everyone. So
Sorry, I'm like, I literally just couldn't find the unmute button. I'm like, I don't know where I am. Awesome, so good. And excuse me, Frankie, we have that. It's an acronym that stands for Friends, Relatives, Acquaintances, Neighbors, Kids Association, Internet Friends, and Extraordinary People, like she was saying. And it's something that we use instead of us saying like, go make a list of 100 people that you know. That sounds overwhelming, and you're like, I can't think of anybody. Like, you just sit there, right? Like racking your brain trying to think like, who do I know? And you start to get too specific, right? And you're like, I don't know anybody that would want to join right now. Well, that's not what you're thinking of. That's not what you're, jotting down or brainstorming. You're just brainstorming of thinking of people to prospect, thinking of people that you can make that connection with, right? That we're talking about branding and exactly everything that Lydia said. You just have to keep that list going, because everybody has a different reason to join. It's not for just the reason you joined for. So when you sit down and think of, I have to write a list of people that would want to join, you're thinking of what you joined for, right? Not what, Sally, who Lydia said is a doctor, you're going to write her off, right? You would instantly think not to write her name down because she makes money already, right? Okay. Do you know the majority of people do not join for money? 90 to 95% of people that join Scentsy, okay, join for fun. So I am the 5%. Like I joined and knew, I'm like, I'm going to do something with this or I'm not going to do it. Right. So a lot of people do not join to build a big, humongous business. That changes over the course of time. Yes. But people join for all different reasons. And if you know the amazing benefits and perks and, lifestyle that comes with this business, then right, that Scentsy is for everybody, right? Lydia just listed a bunch of reasons why you would want to join. So remember that. Don't discount people. And that Frankie list is to help you just start brainstorming people. Don't brainstorm people that you're thinking would join today or would join just for the reason you joined for. Okay. So next up is Jill, and she's going to talk about the host exclusive and flipping your hosts, which goes right along, you guys. So
it really does. It's all connected.
It is. One hand washes the other. So here we go.
Yeah. And onboarding also, which is flows pretty well too. So host flipping. I'm probably going to kind of mix this up a little bit because it flows. So like Lydia was saying, and Colleen as well, not everybody joins for the money. And I happen to be part of that group. I like the money, don't get me wrong. But I do have a full-time job that I've been with for a long time, I should say career. And when I was asked, it was after I had hosted a massive party. Nobody ever said to me, hey, you did like 2,000 PRV. Do you want to, join? Would you like to have this amazing host kit or anything? Nope. They were like, that's great. Thank you. Here are all your stuff. And then a couple months later, because I was trying to help my friend who had joined, I said, hey, I got a friend that works with me and I need more stuff. So how about I have her host a party for you? So 3 massive parties later, it was, hey, it's a join special. And it's the $20 join special in May 2020. And it was like, why don't you just join since, you buy the stuff anyways. And that way I can, with a friend conversation, we have an incentive going on and I could really use those sponsor points. So I know you won't sell it because you don't need the money. Less than 6 months later, I'm a director, I have 30 people on my team. So you never really know what is going to happen. All those missed opportunities with the people that I, was connecting with and how I joined Scentsy, the host flipping for my massive party, me immediately as a customer finding other hosts to host parties because I wanted more product, my sponsor assuming that because I make money, I wouldn't need it. And then, the whole, well, why don't you just join? Don't worry about anything else because I need those sponsor points. Those are all real things. That's like really, each of you, if you really reflect back on, if you're just starting out or even if you've been in the business for a while, you do that kind of stuff where you forget that, there is that host flip option, that we do have that host kit exclusive, that we shouldn't label somebody as not ever wanting to do this. And we shouldn't really be only focusing on our own benefit, such as sponsoring points for incentives and stuff, because you really miss that opportunity. And that opportunity is when you're hosting a party with somebody, you're having that one-on-one communication, you're seeing them interact with their own friends, family, their guests for their party. And they're, that interaction, one, like Nicole said, because they're talking about the products with you and they're sharing, their loves of the products, they're learning, right? When you share something, when you talk about it, you're learning as well. It's an experience and they're already there. They've taken that first step in the door of being a Scentsy consultant. And that is the best opportunity when they're feeling really positive about the products. They're feeling like they can share about the items. They know oh, this is the fragrance families and these are the warmers we have. They're already there. So that's the point when you want to say, wait a minute, I love that we're hosting this party. I love that you have 500 PRV and you're going to end up with 3 half offs and, whatever it is. But how about you flip this party to you? And not only are you going to get your rewards, but you're going to get a nice host kit, which is a warmer and some wax and some testers and some, cleaning products and all this other stuff that you're going to buy anyways with your credits. And you're also going to have the ability to be a consultant for a year, and you don't have to do anything special with that. If you just want to, join and have this exclusive kit that's at a discount, and then all these people, you have 10 people that made an order. You don't think they're going to need wax in a month? You don't think that they're going to they got a mini warmer? You don't think they're going to want a full size warmer? It's, whatever. It's August. You don't think that they're going to be looking for something come the holidays? Our harvest collection's coming out in 25 days. Don't you think that, that's great opportunity. Oh, and by the way, you also get paid for this. I can't tell you how many consultants, new consultants that I flipped their party or they were my best customer, and I will get back to that, that they were like, wait, I get commission too? They forgot. They forgot that they actually get commission. They're like, oh, I thought I just got the free stuff, And I'm like, no, you get paid for this too. And the other things just today, I had a consultant who was asking about just made certified, and she's been on board now for about 2 weeks. And she said, so I get 25% now, right? Next month after it all goes through. I said, no, you get 25% now on everything you've sold all this time, last 2 weeks, because it was all in the same month. She's like, oh, I didn't even know that. And I'm like, so there's so many different things that we don't even think about to mention or to discuss with those people that are just our customers or hosting a party. And a lot of times it's our best customer, right? And that's why I said go back to the best customer, because in my team, I want to say 95% of my team were at one point my best customers. I don't think that I have one customer left that is every month on hey, I want $300 worth of stuff, or me, my mother, my sister, my cousin, we're all going to order all this month. It's wait a minute. So, you and your sister and your mother and your cousin are all ordering for me every month. Why don't they order from you? Why don't you make the money? Why don't you earn the incentive points? Why don't you provide your family with that discount if that's what you want to do? But why should I get that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And honestly, at the end of the day, Sensi's made up this like multi-level marketing company where we, as the sponsor, as director, or whatever it is, you're making bonuses on it anyways. So PRV is great, like when you have that party, but that's like PRV right now and only right now. When you flip that party, when you offer that host exclusive kit, you're gonna make GWV forever. You're gonna broaden your horizons hugely. I don't even know, like some of the girls that have joined under me that used to buy from me, whatever. I'm like, wait a minute, their whole family bought from me and so, whatever. And now they're still pulling in these big numbers. I'm like, where are they meeting these people? Oh yeah, that's right. They live in a different town than me. They have different circle than me. They work in a different business than me. And they're touching it's like a spider web that just keeps like growing. It's connected. And you never would have found those people. They would have never invited them to a party in the future for you, because it's like compounding. So, a lot of times we do that and we stop ourselves from asking a question because we want to get to that next PRV point so we can get that next promotion or whatever it is. Or we're so close to the end of the month, we've already made our numbers and we're like, oh, you know what? I'll tell them to hold that for next week. Like that's bad news, because you're just hurting your long-term success for something that's just right now. And right now is not as important as long-term over time, because that is so compounding. So that is pretty much what I had to say about the whole house flipping thing. I know that we all, if you're at this point, if you're on this meeting, then you already know about all the benefits and how to do it in Workstation. If you don't, please feel free to give me a call or go online or whatever. I have tons of different trainings that I do with my group and offer to even like my downline, all of them, because I want everybody to know all the different ways that they can offer Sensi to others, whether they're joining or you're offering the kit to somebody outside of a party, whatever it is. Excuse me. So I'm sure you all know that. The other thing was the onboarding part. So I feel like I do offer a lot of kits. A lot of consultants have a great success with saying, hey, I have a free kit, who wants it? And I never have success with that. I swear I can't give free kits away. I don't know what that is. And it's funny because I definitely have a lot of host kits that get taken, but most people are like, it's either their party or, it's one of those months where I'm like, I have a host kit for $39 or whatever it is. Like I give them the I have a $200 party, that kind of thing. I always have a party that I'm like kind of moving along and having there for a host kit to offer. So I know sometimes, money's tight and some of us want to, and I always make sure that my team knows that, if you have $200 in orders, you can put that in and get it for free shipping and all that. But you're really helping yourself in the long run by having that $200 party sitting there with the host kit ready for when somebody does contact you who is a customer or a friend of a friend, and you know that they're really interested and maybe times are tough and they're outgoing and they're extraordinary and they're going to make something out of this, but they just need that first push. They need that first like helping hand. And if you have that party available, you're able to give them that helping hand. And I feel very blessed to have my business. Like I said when we first started talking, I really need Sensi. I'm financially sound. I have a really good job, but so the money's good. But I really did this for like the friendship, the sisterhood, getting out there and meeting new people. I'm not very outgoing. I'm kind of shy, if you haven't noticed. And so I try to sell that end of things as well. When I talk to people, when I share what's going on. And I think that my customers notice that too. So I always say, there's no like huge commitment here. You're going to sign up and it's what you want. It's your business. You don't owe anything to me. So take your kit and enjoy it and it's yours. And I'll show you and I'll help you. And, or to do it up or to just once a month or once a year or walk away, whatever you want. I mean, I even go so far as after a few months, if somebody's not active, I reach out to them and give them instructions on how they can return their kit well, not their kit, but some of the items they buy to get a refund from Scentsy. Because I want everybody to know that I work with that this is a blessing, that it is a real community where we care about each other. And even if you're not ready to go and sell wax and warmers, you still have a family here and that will be waiting. And I've had people on my team that have taken 6 months off and come back and, you know, they're just like promoting and doing great, and they don't feel the pressure. And I think that that's really important too. So the onboarding system that I use, and that I think that is good, is that first thing is that it's your business. So you define how you want to work that business. I don't immediately go out there and say, these are the targets I have to make this month, so you need to help me get there. Like, that's like, nobody wants to hear that. It's not attractive. And then, so, you know, I try to find out their why. You know, we talk a lot about that, but also, you know, how they feel they're going to get there. Because I can tell them what they could do, but it's not really going to resonate until they've committed to themselves what it is that they want, and then give ideas. Also, the other thing is that many of us are starting to build teams, and you too, if you're watching this, and you may not have a platform that you use just yet. You may be using your own director's platform, like your Facebook group or a messenger group. So I think one of the things that's really important is to have some type of platform that you use. I have like a texting system for onboarding, but I also have my own group, and there's albums and different posts and stuff that I like tag people under, but I don't just put their name and goodbye. I follow up, and there are certain things that I ask, or I say, hey, how's it going? And, you know, I saw you made, you know, okay, so you had a sale of $20. You're not at active yet, or you're not at, you know, 500 club or whatever it is, but that's a success. That's a good news story. You've made a sale. You've reached somebody that's now a customer of yours. So I try to, in the first like week, help with that onboarding. But I do feel, going back to the host flip and the host exclusive kit, that some of the best and most successful team members that I have are those that decided to host a party. And we created their party group, especially online. You know, recently, that's pretty much all I've ever done. I've never even had an at-home party. And now, you know, they have all this data, all these different things that I've put up there for them and that they've helped me with, and they can refer back to, with whether it be like bundles and save and pictures of things, and their customer group is already created, and I just give it to them. Here you go. This is your new VIP group, and you're all set. You're ready to go. And you know, I stay connected and I help with things, and I'll talk about things. And I try not to communicate with customers. I'll watch and see questions, and then I'll message whoever it is and say, hey, this is the answer to that. If you haven't found that, whatever. And I think, like, even, you know, none of us have all the time in the world to do those things, but it helps in those first few weeks. And I feel like those that, you know, hit shooting star and have some commitment, and they feel like you're there, and it truly is a sisterhood, you know, they do a lot better. They're really more committed, and not only just to, you know, their business, but they're committed to you, and that's a good thing. So that's what I have.
Awesome. Great job. Lots of good info. I'm writing things down as you guys are talking. I'm like, excuse me, truly, we all have so much to give and offer and learn and take from. And, you know, think about that when you are scrolling through all of your team pages, whether it's your sponsors, your directors, your star directors, your superstar, you know, whatever it is, and you're shy. So you don't want to throw anything out there because you feel like you haven't been with Scentsy long enough. You have nothing to offer, which is so, I learned some of my best just tips and tricks from brand new consultants, because brand new consultants have that excitement and eagerness that I feel like I'm constantly searching and pulling for motivation, you know, like I have my ups and downs just like everybody does and everybody will. But there's so many great things you can learn from everybody in this business at every different season. So that's why we're all here sharing, because this has just been so awesome. And also, you know, ask the questions like Jill is saying, you know, this is their car and their business is their car and they're going to drive the car. Okay. So you're just asking them what they want to do with their car, where they're taking their car, right? And you're helping them get there. You're the passenger. but you're not, you need to ask the questions, guys, even before they join. Like if you're talking to them about joining and they're interested and they want to flip their party, or, you know, you're just talking to your best customer, period. You want to ask the questions, okay? Because you're not going to know how to lead them. And you're also not going to set up really big expectations that are just going to let you down because you haven't asked those questions. Ask the questions. What do you want from this business? How do you see Scentsy fitting into your life? You know, like what are the steps that you think you could take every month to get to your goal? What is your goal? Ask those questions ahead of time, not after the fact you've pushed them, you know, into this corner with your goals and, you know, what you're trying to do or the promotion you're trying to hit, because that's so yucky. And even if they wanted something big at first, that might push them right away. Okay. So
Can I
yeah.
jump in for 2 seconds? I'll make it
What?
quick. Can I
Oh
say
yeah,
something really
please.
quick?
Mhm.
Just because I know when I was kind of a new consultant, I was at a team meeting and Courtney and Colleen were going back and forth about host flipping. And I was like, what the frick is host flipping? I had no idea. So I just want to like clear, if anyone doesn't know what host flipping is, it's when you take somebody's host rewards from their party, and instead of them getting free Scentsy and warmers and wax, they get a discounted host kit. So just so if you didn't know what that meant, and they can join, they can use their host rewards to join. So my best advice with that is literally ask every single host you ever have, do you want to use these rewards towards a kit? The worst thing that they could ever say is, no, I'm good, not right now. Right? That's the most tragic thing they could tell you, which isn't that bad. So if you didn't know, that's what that is, and you should be offering it every time you close a party. I have a party in my own name every month, and I buy myself rewards, but before I do that, I throw it out there. Hey, I have a free kit if anybody wants to join. Okay, so just, yeah, sorry, I know we're trying to spare time.
No, that's good. That's good because sometimes as I'm speaking, I'm not even thinking of something, or this is why we're here. So yes, and if anybody's confused, I did type in the chat bar. Feel like there's so much. The best way you guys can learn is by looking for the information that you know you need. Okay. If we're not giving you something and you have a question, then please, you guys, the best way to learn that is going to help you out and really create a self-starter, a go-getter, or just, you know, having you give yourself what you need is by looking for the information on the workstation, on your team page, on YouTube, whatever it is. There's so many free resources at your fingertips. So moving right along, we have Christine, and she's going to talk about planting seeds and following up with those seeds.
Hi. How's everybody doing? How you guys doing? Good? I want to tell you all that I love you and I think you're all so smart and wonderful. And I'm like taking notes and I love hearing from everybody. So go team. Okay, planting seeds. I happen to be the queen of planting seeds. My garden has not yet bloomed. Haha, see what I did there. I do feel like I spend quite a bit of time doing the things that I am going to talk you guys through right now. My team is a team of 10 right now, so definitely not as big as I would like it to be. So I'm still tweaking these myself, but these are the things that I have found either go over the best or show the best results and feel the most comfortable for me. So the first thing, there are 3 key points I'm going to focus on. The first thing is to keep it simple, okay? Just keep it simple. We all word vomit, right? Raise your hand if you word vomit. It's like, and then, and oh, did you, oh, and then, oh, but then this other thing, shut up, Christine, right? Like, just be quiet, keep it simple and keep it to the point, right? And I need to remind myself of that all the time. Number 2, and I'm going to go more into number 2 because I feel like keep it simple, that like speaks for itself, right? And if I overtalk, keep it simple, I'm kind of defeating the purpose. But number 2 is to keep it casual, okay? Any conversation you have needs to be organic, right? So conversations with customers about their own orders and how there's an opportunity to save money on their own orders. Your repeat customers, do you have people buying from you who are buying the same thing every month, or every other month? Those are the conversations that the conversation starter is already there for you to jump on, right? Hey, I noticed that every 5 weeks you order another 6-bar bundle. Did you know that you could be getting a commission off your own wax? And taking that avenue where it's just casual and it's organic and it makes sense. It's not out of place. I think that that's probably the best tip that I've gotten, is just to like look for where those doors are and then actually walk through them. The next thing would be, and forgive me if this is a little repetitive, but to show the lifestyle of Scentsy, right? So show what did you do with that debit card that Scentsy gave you, right? Who have you met? What friends have you made? What time have you spent with them? How does it make you feel to see your business in operation? How does it make you feel when you reach a goal? How does it make you feel to have other people who you know and care about join you on this journey, right? That side of the lifestyle, I feel like a lot of times, and most oftentimes, is more important than sharing the products, because I mean, in my opinion, the products speak for themselves. I mean, this stuff it's good stuff. And anyone who's tried it, I've never had anybody be like, no, I really don't like Scentsy. And I ask everyone to try it. So when you're showing the alternative side of that, you know, what did you buy today with your Scentsy card? Who's your new friend that you meet? Oh, this is my friend Lydia. Her box is right under mine. This is my new friend Lydia. Isn't she so pretty? Da, 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 so on and so forth, right? When you're showing the lifestyle, and you're not going to have to bring up that conversation, people will bring that conversation to you. That's a big lesson that I've learned. When you're doing it enough, and again, organically, and the ways that it makes sense and it plays into your everyday, people are going to ask you about it at one point or another. And when they do, they've opened that door, walk through it, right? Social media. I've been pretty heavy into social media myself lately. But I found that polls and questions in your stories, anytime you post a story, whenever someone votes on a poll or somebody answers a question, you need to follow up with them. I'm doing a series right now of, it's like a play on this or that. And it's, what does your nose say? And I just put images of like strawberries or a lemon, and the poll, it just says fruit or citrus. You know what I mean? And everyone who clicked one or the other, like, oh, hey, like, have you ever smelled sun-kissed citrus? Or have you ever smelled a lemon verbena? I saw you clicked citrus in my poll. I think you would really like this. Did you know that Squeeze the Day is like our most popular in Christine's world anyway? You know what I mean? Like, and again, organically, you go from there. Oh, I saw you clicked woods on my poll today, or whatever it is. My favorite happens to be, have you smelled it yet? Would you like to try it? And just start the conversation from there. A, you're engaging people. B, that's another person who's going to be paying more attention to you and what you're posting now. And C, you've planted a seed. So I'm going to tie this in. Okay. So I lost my train of thought. And I have to absolutely look at my notes, otherwise I'll word vomit. And my lesson to you guys is to keep it simple. So I have short bullet points to keep myself on track. If you need to, whatever your system works for you, write down those responses, right? Write down or keep a log somewhere of what people are giving to you or saying to you, or what their responses are to you when you ask them about it. When you specifically say, what about this? Or have you tried that? And they offer something up, write it down, right? I have so many notes besides my customers, that what their favorite scents are, what their favorite drinks are, what their favorite animals are, you know what I mean? Because anytime I can tie in something to them, I want to, but I'm also that like lunatic who'll be like, hey, Colleen, how's your cow? And Colleen's like, I don't have a cow, I have a chicken. You know what I mean? And that's what we call stepping in it, right? So I have to write everything down, and I would suggest you do the same thing, because the more you can go back to that initial conversation and that seed that you planted. And the more you show that person, that prospect, that you were paying enough attention and that you actually care enough to revisit that conversation with them, the better relationship you're going to have one way or another, whether it results in somebody on your team or a customer or a new friend, right? I have a customer who was living in Massachusetts when she started buying from me. She moved south after that. The only time I've ever met her in person was when I did a COVID door drop off and we talked to each other through her storm door. And she commented on my VIP page before she moved that one of the best things that happened to her that year was that she made me as a friend. And I thought that was so cool. And so every so often, hasn't really been buying from me, honestly. She had expressed interest in joining. She moved, she's had a lot going on. I don't want to be pushy. So every couple of weeks, I just send her a message like, what's up, Buttercup? You know what I mean? How's the new house? How's the new job? Do you like the people you're working with? She always replies to me. And after a little bit of the conversation, she always brings up Scentsy. I never bring up Scentsy to her. And I find that she's a really great example of that relationship and that rapport, that it's planting the seed, but it's watering it too, right? And I think that's the part a lot of times that people overlook or forget about. So what's another way? Let's see. Every order that's placed, I mentioned that they can get a discount from being a consultant. I mentioned it in passing. I put it in my email. Whatever my follow-up system is at the time, I include it somewhere in some format of that. So that's going to lead me to my next thing. My follow-up system, if you don't have one, you need one. Because again, if we're talking about organic conversations and how things, come up on their own without like being forced, without pushing it too much. If you have a follow-up system, then your communication is going to remain open, right? Those doors are going to remain open so you can continue to revisit it. That's when I will bring in my pointed out, hey, I noticed you ordered this again. Did you know you could get a discount on it? Did you know you could make a commission off yourself? Hey, I noticed that this happened, that happened. I noticed, because I've kept that conversation open, because I'm consistent with my follow-up. That being said, your follow-up system needs to be consistent. So whether you use, I say AMI. I know some people say Amy. I always say AMI because it's all capitals. I don't know why I feel like that's like, I don't know. I say AMI, Amy, or workstation, or if you go through your order history or whatever your follow-up system is, keep it consistent and use that as your open door, right? Like that little bird on their shoulder, I was thinking. So whether you are always following up with an email, it's going to always be an email. If typically you're a texter, it needs to text. Don't send them a Facebook message and then text them and then another Facebook message and then email them and then go back to texting again. Like keep one avenue, and then that way you have a record of your conversations right there in that one thread, right? Whether it's on Messenger or an email, you have it there to reference, which I personally, again, because I'm like a lunatic, I need it all focused right there for me. Make sure it's always personalized. Pull those things in that you've already been talking to them about. Includes, this is, I think, a big one because people joke about this with me all the time. But include a little something that makes them think of you. For example, I always put a lollipop in my VIP mail or in my thank you mail. And I get the same ones. They're those like gourmet ones. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Your favorite thing. But anyway, I have customers now who said like, oh, I was at Walgreens and your lollipops were at the cash register. And I'm like, oh, honey, here we are talking again now, by the way. Do you need to stock up? And I just think that that's such a fun little thing that I always put the same, different flavors, but I always put the same piece of candy in my whatever it is. Thanks, Nicole. Whatever it is I'm sending, and customer appreciation, VIP, thank you. It's always the same type of lollipop. And now when my customers see the lollipop, they think of me. So great, there's another conversation starter, plant that seed. And then this is, oh, I lost, actually, well, one more thing, again, with being consistent. And we talked about this a little bit at our meeting last week, but the more you can like keep your color palettes the same, the more you keep your graphics similar, the more their eyes and ears see something and associate it with you, right? That I feel like that is going to go a long way too. So to pull it back up, right? Number one, keep it simple. Two, keep it casual. So these are pretty much all the things that I do in order to just go with the flow and keep it casual and try to heed my own advice. The last thing though that I want to say, and I'm still working on this one. I need to be better at this. You need to listen. You need to really, really listen to what people are telling you, because 99% of the time, their words are not indicative of what they're actually telling you. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are they really saying? So the example I have of this, and this was when I was like, oh, this is finally clicking with me. A customer of mine who I'm friends with, we were together recently. She sells something else. Okay. She's in direct sales. She sells another product. And she told me that her husband, quote, made a joke to her about how she should just become a Scentsy rep because she loves it so much. And I was like, whoop. But you're let's just say she sells Pampered Chef, right? But you're a Pampered Chef consultant. And she was like, well, yeah, but I just love Scentsy so much. So in my head, like, she was like, yeah, no, you're right, I am. But, I just, yeah, wishy-washy. She wasn't saying yes, she wasn't saying no. But I stopped and I was like, what was she really saying by telling me that her husband, maybe he really did, you know what I mean? Like, that he brought to her attention, well, you love this Scentsy stuff so much, why don't you sell that? Like, it's just, anyway, that's the example I came up with. But to really listen, who's around you, what are they saying, what are they showing you, and how can you help that grow? I'm done. I think. Word vomit.
Good job. No, that was really good, Christine. That was good. That was a very good, like, step by step. And a lot of times with listening, it's so funny because a lot of people talk about this. Don't listen to respond, listen to, like, absorb the information.
Listen to learn.
Take
Yeah.
the information and move forward with it. And especially, like, it's funny, but it's so true. So many times when people say, like, hi, how are you? And you're just like, good. And, because if I stopped and was like, well, today kind of wasn't the best, like, nobody actually wants to hear how it's just like a cordial thing that people say, right?
Right.
Like,
right.
Hi, how are you? Like, if somebody sat down with me and wanted to, like, tell me how they really were, and it wasn't, like a 2-second answer, then I'm like, why did I ask that? But no, really, listen to absorb the information and learn.
Yeah.
Don't listen to just respond. You're like, okay, yeah. So I can say what I need to say next, right? Like,
right.
That is such a key thing, especially when it comes to what we're talking about, prospecting and recruiting. You need to know and listen to these people. They're going to drop clues. They're going to drop hints. Like, you have to be a natural conversation, like, starter, and just have a natural flow, organic conversations, and know how to have a conversation, and picking up social cues and just listening or watching what they're doing on social media, right?
Mhm.
So even when it comes to prospecting, what I do on social media is I will unfollow, like, aside from my, like, front line, I pretty much unfollow my front line and my leaders. I follow everybody else in Scentsy. You guys, I have like 500 Scentsy friends just from all over, like, the United States, worldwide. And when I'm going onto social media, if I have 20 minutes to, poop around on the phone, I don't want to go through 500 Scentsy friends, right? I'm actually there. Like, I use social media as my job. So whether I'm posting about something personal, listen, bet your bottom dollar, sweetie, that I'm posting it because I have my business in mind, whether it's about my kids or whether it's about a join kit. Excuse me, no matter what it's about, I still have my business in the back of my mind. There is some reason why I'm sharing it. It's my
Same.
brand. There has to be intention behind what you're doing. Okay. So watching and listening. So I purposely follow the people that I'm prospecting so I know what's going on in their life. So I can kind of like wait for that door to open and insert myself at their doorstep. I'm like, you rang?
Anybody home?
They're like, oh, my house stinks. I'm like, I'm here. I'm here. So I'm ready to type in the comments right away. First comment. But no, really, you guys, just watching and
So
listening,
true.
doing things organically and naturally is so huge. So I am now going to talk about, okay, go for the objection. All right. So listen, you're going to hear the word no. You've got to get it out. Just like shake it off, get it out, whatever you got to do, stand up, wiggle it out. You're going to hear the word no, and you're going to hear it a lot, and you have to be okay with that, right? Like it is not do or die. Every no that you get is closer to a yes. Okay. If you're not asking, then you're not getting anything. Okay. And the more no's, that means you're asking more people. That means honestly, guys, this is a numbers game. Okay. It's a numbers game. It's not like plant the seeds with 2 people and then you're going to water those seeds and then you're going to put some sunlight on them and sprinkle a little, personality and a little bit of, I'll send you a sample here and do this and that. It will take 5 years for them to join by doing it that way, right? Like you need to share again what we've been saying. This goes for everybody. Everybody has different reasons to join. Everybody is a prospect. Find what their want and their need is. Be that relatable person that they are, they're sticking to you, right? Because you are that likable, trustworthy person that they see. So you're meeting all of these people through parties, FYI, totally different subject, but you're networking, you're meeting new people, you're building your prospect list and you're building relationships with these people, right? And you do not discount anybody and you don't hold back and you share with every customer, every host, everybody that you're building relationships with organically, right? You're not just going to like ding dong ring on somebody's, your neighbor's bell and be like, hi, you want to join my team? You know what I mean? Like that seems so crazy. So clearly you wouldn't do that, right? It needs to be organic. And it has to flow. All right. But you guys, do not, this is a fine line. Do not spend time. You're not building friendships. You're building relationships and connections with your customers and your audience. And, you're not building friendships. Nobody has the emotional availability, time, patience, want, or need to make new friendships as much as we should be making connections. Okay. It's a numbers game. So listen, if you are prospecting and sharing the opportunity, say you prospected, shared, offered the opportunity to 5 people. Okay. 3 of those people might say no, which actually means not right now, because what happens as soon as you plant that seed, they're thinking about it. Then they're kind of watching you closer, like, oh, well, what does she do? Let me see. She thinks that I could do it. Like you're going to approach like, listen, I think that you have such an awesome personality. Your social media is hilarious. I think like you are such a personable, like just you are great on social media. I think that you would really enjoy this. And I'd love to see what you do with it. Like if you have any interest, okay, they may, their knee-jerk reaction is to be like, no, I couldn't do something like that, which goes into what I'm going to talk about. No, I couldn't do something like that. And then you say, oh, okay, all right, well, if you change your mind, let me know. First of all, they're never going to do that. Okay. So they're never going to do that. But let me go back to that. I'm going to go back to those 3 people. Okay. But okay, you prospected 5, 3 said no, 2 says, yeah, maybe I'll think about it. And 1 says, yeah, I have been thinking about it, but listen, those 2 people, so you're like, yes, there's 2 people that are like kind of interested, right? Listen, it may take those 2 people a year. So are you just going to chase those 2 people down to the ends of the earth until they join? Are you going to try to convince them? Are you going to manipulate and lie to them? No, no. Okay. This is a natural, organic relationship building business, right? So that means you need to be talking and sharing the opportunity all the time with everybody you meet, because everybody can join Scentsy for all different reasons. Because it will take one person, yeah, you know what? I have been thinking about it. Yeah, let's do it. What are my options? And it may take Sally, trust me, I've been doing this 5 years. There's still people to this day that will, I go through this song and dance with them sometimes, that they want to join, then they don't, then they do, then they don't. Guys, it's been 5 years. Okay. So if I was only relying on that one person, I wouldn't have a team. Okay. So it's everybody you meet. Everybody you meet. If you can sell the product, you can share the opportunity. That's it. You're really sharing yourself. You're sharing yourself and your brand and what this has done for you. Remember that. Okay. Okay. Now, they say to you, the other 3 people that said no, or even the person that said, yeah, I've been thinking about it, but all right, you're not going to be like, okay, well, somebody says, yeah, but I'm really busy, so I can't. And then you say, all right, well, when you get more time, call me. Okay. That's not going to happen. Nobody just comes up with free time and says, I'm going to join Scentsy because I have extra time right now. No. So when somebody says no, or maybe, but, or you can tell they're thinking about it, or they tell you they can't join because of this reason. Okay. I want you to go for the objection. I want you to find out and figure out why they're saying no, or what's holding them back, right? Because if it's as simple as somebody saying, I don't have the $99 to join, I really want to join though, and you didn't ask, like, or dig deeper, or you just said, okay, bye, you wouldn't know to say, oh, that's totally fine. We have a few different options that I can go over with you. You can have your own party and I can flip that party to you. It's part of the host exclusive, or you know what I mean? Like, go for the objection so you can talk that person off the ledge, right? Because a lot of times, you guys, FYI, people are going to say, no, they can't, because they're scared, they're nervous, and they're doubtful that they could do something like this, because the majority of people we know do not do something like this. All right. So they have an idea of what direct sales is, and they don't want to be that person. Right. But these are the things that we're sharing with you now. So you are not that person. So make sure if somebody says no, or they have an objection, don't avoid it. Do not avoid it. Go right in for it, because you have nothing to hide. You have nothing to hide. And you are there as the teacher to say, like, hey, don't worry about time. You can make your own schedule. Like I worked my business 30 minutes a day for 3 years, 30 minutes a day, right? Who doesn't have 30 minutes? Whether you want to, take those 30 minutes and do Scentsy with it. I mean, what do you want to do Scentsy for? So it all goes hand in hand, but go for the objection, you guys. Do not ever beat around the bush, or don't go right in for it. You want to find out what it is so you can put their fears and their doubts at ease right away. All right. Next is, in the final, recruit the many to find the few. I kind of already went over this, but excuse me. Now, so to put it into perspective a little bit, Nicole was talking about, selling $3,000 worth of Scentsy to make $10,000 a month, right? $30,000 worth of Scentsy to get $10,000 a month, right? Okay, let's put it into perspective. So I aim for about $2,000 to $2,500 PRV every month. Sometimes I have, $3,000, $4,000 months, but on average, I'm aiming for 2,000, usually end up between there and 250, right? So now my best month was just under $7,000, right? Like Couldn't even believe it. 1,200 of that came from me. So all of that other thousands of dollars, because it still blows my own freaking mind off, came from my team. Team bonuses, frontline bonuses, director bonuses. So if you don't see the value in team building, or even just sharing this opportunity because this person needs that sisterhood, because you know she doesn't have anybody in her life, or this person has a high stress job and needs something just to take her mind off of things, or this person is a single mom and struggling and needs to pick up extra shifts as a waitress, but she also needs to pay for a babysitter, like, and it's one hand is washing the other. Like, what kind of sense does that make, right? One is canceling out the other. There's so many reasons, you guys, but you have to recruit the many. So the majority, I have over 400 people in my group, and the majority of people do not work their business to build a business. Okay. So the majority of people do it for fun. They may, have, get active here, get active there, but you have to keep recruiting. And if you get bummed out because you sponsor somebody and they don't do anything, again, we do not own anybody. We have to have zero expectations. We have to listen from the beginning. We have to ask them and help them with their goals, because if their goal is even just to get active every month or every other month, well, it's better than you forcing your goals, pushing them out, and then there's nothing, okay? Or they'll do nothing. So help them hit their goals. And you know what? They'll probably end up wanting to do more, because they're going to feel more confident and build that belief in themselves that, oh, hey, I can get my Scentsy free and half off. Like, I bet you a lot of people when they join and I tell them they get amazed when they actually get their Scentsy free and half off. Like, they thought I was going to lie to them, like, no, you really can get your Scentsy free and half off. So guys, recruit the many to find the few. You're going to have a few rock stars that will change your life, that will change your business, that will change like the trajectory of your financial situation. But you're only going to get there if you keep sharing. And it's not about a join opportunity, a join special, right? It's about sharing with everybody all the time. You need to put your mindset into this place where you're sharing the opportunity as much as you're sharing the products. Okay. We so often, like Jill was saying, we go for the next PRV, the next PRV, the next PRV. PRV is great. We need it. But, bringing somebody on board and sharing this opportunity lasts much longer than a one-time purchase. Okay. So remember that. Recruit the many to find the few. So that is all for our training. We kept it, trust me, this could have gone on for hours if we really dug deep into this, but excuse me, we did a really good job. If you guys have questions, I will post this tomorrow in Beantown, and you guys can share it with your teams, and you guys can ask questions underneath, share it with everybody. I hope this was informative, valuable at some point. My leaders did an amazing, amazing, amazing job, and I hope they are so proud of themselves, because I am proud of them. So guys, have a wonderful night. Let's get into prospecting and recruiting. It is bigger and better than you even know. And honestly, just as a side note, when you become a part of somebody else's success, when you help somebody else change something in their life, or bring somebody else happiness, that is the type of stuff that you cannot put money on. That is like, wow, I didn't know that I would benefit, or that would be so rewarding, just self-rewarding to see somebody else be so happy or successful. It's just absolutely incredible. So when you get to that point, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So we love you guys. Hope you have a great week, and let's start prospecting and recruiting. Talk to you later.